You are now watching the He Say She Say podcast. I'm your host, King Ralph.
And I'm your co-host, Gaby, aka La Chona. Yeah, thank you for watching.
Make sure y'all drink your water, mind your business.
Yep. Stay hydrated.
Stay
not
hydrated.
dehydrated.
It is hot out here. Man, I've been wearing this sweat vest. Trying to get ready for this
This Hawaii trip.
Yeah, man. I'm
Summer.
telling you, no
Summer
shirt.
body. 2021.
No shirt the whole time I'm out there. My mom is mad. She's like, "You're gonna wear a shirt." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm not wearing no shirt. Chest hairs and gold chains.
Everything.
Out.
Everything.
Yep. But we're in Fit Boxer Studio, trying to stay cool. I had the AC going in the last one, so we'll see how this one sounds. As an engineer, really big on how stuff be sounding. So, but yeah. So I was having this conversation, and I've even put it up on my IG story for the people that have been paying attention. Had a conversation with a homegirl of mine, and she was talking about her relationship with her dude, and it got me thinking. And I even seen it, the reason why it stood out to me is probably like a day or two before that. It's this girl that I'm friends with on Snapchat, and she put her thoughts on how the man should be the provider, and if you are not providing for your woman, pretty much good luck trying to keep a woman. And I was just like, you know what? I get it to a certain degree, but I slightly disagree. I don't think that, and I get it, like, because I am a man of faith, and I do have a lot of friends who are people of faith. And I do think that the social construct in the Bible, it says that the man should be the provider. Mm-hmm. But those same constructs are not where we are as a society. So I do think that, like, I slightly disagree with them because just where we are, like, just even like I use this statistic all the time. It's statistically proven that black women are more educated from a standpoint of getting degrees than black men. So that would then turn into those jobs. They're more likely to have jobs that pay better. So how can the way, and if we go through all the way to the whole systemic problems in America, it's like that for a reason. So then how can you then expect a man to be the provider solely while also and then most women that have those degrees, are you willing to give up your career to stay at home and take care of the house? Most women will say no. But then also, are you willing to, you're both working 40 hours, but he is making sure that all of the bills are paid. Are you then willing to make sure at the end of the day that the house is taken care of while also still working your 40 hours? And I do think that, like, for me, and I kind of had this conversation with Daphne last night, when I was sitting there bouncing ideas off of her and things like that, I was just like, you know what? I don't think, and I'm going to kind of wrap it up with my idea and then let you speak. I personally think that I don't think that the man should be paying all the bills. But I do think that when all else fails and someone is not able, like, let's just say, I don't think that the man should ever have a moment where if she can't pay the bills, he can't pick up the slack. And that's where I do think ultimately I do agree that he should be the provider, but not in a sense of like he should be paying all the bills, because then with that, a lot of people will take advantage of that. And that's where I just think that the worldly part of everything is, it can bring issues into a relationship that might not have been a thing back then because you didn't have an option as a woman. There weren't no jobs that you can go get that you were taking care of yourself without the help of someone else. So I just think that it can lead to a slippery slope, especially when I start getting in these like Instagram or like social media comment sections, and it's like, the people that are in these comment sections, I'm just like, I wouldn't pay your bills, because then you're going to be using your money to do other stuff while I'm sitting over here not having my money. And that's where I think that it does boil down to, I don't think that you should just be doing this for any old body. I do think that you should just be, it should definitely be a partnership and something that is earned and not just like, oh, you're a woman, so I'm going to do this right away.
Yeah. Okay. So I agree to a certain extent with you. I come from a traditional background. You know, I'm Mexican, so I'm used to the man being the provider, and that's how it is. But again, there is worldly views and there is, what you say, godly views, you know. It's at the end of the day, it's a conversation that you need to have, is who is the person that you are dating. If you have standards and values and this is what I want from a man, then stick to that. And it's like, okay, for me, it's like, you know, I'm a Christian woman, so I need a man to be the provider. You know, I'm not saying that I'm going to be lazy at home or, you know, just be, no, I'm going to be working too, you know. And yeah, it's, for me, it's like, I'm going to cook one day, I'll clean or whatever, but you can help too, you know, or you can pay certain bills up. It's a conversation that the woman needs to have with the man, even with the dating phase, as in, where do you stand on paying what is it that it's because there's some women that prefer working and not doing anything and not doing any housework or cooking. They prefer the man to do that, you know. So it's just a conversation that you need to have with your partner. For me, it's like I said, I am, you know, I'm traditional that way, as in, but I've never been in a relationship where they paid everything, you know, until it gets serious to where there's marriage, you know, talking about marriage and stuff. Then yes, I'm going to need you to, you know what, you need to provide, you know. Yeah, like I said, I think it's the worldly views and it's a godly views, as in, you know, what is a man does what. I'm Mexican. Most Mexicans, I'm not saying that we're all like that, because we're not, where a man provides and the woman stays home and cooks and cleans. But I'm not, you know, like I said, you said it earlier, we are in a new society, a new generation, as in we're doing things differently. For me, I don't like the fact when people say it's 50-50, because in a relationship, I feel like you have to give your whole 100%, and that person needs to give their whole 100%. I'm giving you my all, as in you have certain limits, certain, how do you say, like.
But that's not what people talking about.
No, I know, but I'm saying, as in, you know, when people say I'm going to give you my all, as in, okay, I'm going to pay for everything and you can, and there's men that like that. There's men that like to spoil their women and you don't have to work and do anything. I'll pay for everything. Like I said, it's just your standards and who you're talking to and the person that you're talking to. If you like someone and they don't have a job or they don't have a car, they don't have, what are you there for? The attention? I mean, that's what most people do, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, like me, like I grew up with, like my mom is, like my dad was the provider. Mm-hmm. My mom, pretty much my dad was the breadwinner. My dad would make all the money. My mom still worked. Mm-hmm. Like my mom never not had a job. But my dad was the provider. But my mom was the one that took the money and made sure the bills were paid.
That's how my parents were too.
And so, like, I do think, like, I can see that social construct. But I just think that the people will have, like, we live in a certain society where it takes two incomes to be able to sustain a household in most of America.
Yeah, most of America.
In most of America.
Yeah.
Like, so for people to be like, oh, well, the guy should do this. If you want to live the lifestyle that most people want to, where you want to go travel and things like that, it's going to take more than one income in order for y'all to be able to do that. So for you to be able to, it's just logically and realistically 90%. I'm not even gonna say 90 because that's really, it's the middle class America to lower class America. You're gonna need most of this, especially when you start, like here in Vegas. Like my friend lives in Jersey, so her one bedroom is $1,500.
Yeah.
Where out here you can get a 2 or 3 bedroom Sure, you can probably get a nice place depending on where if you're cool.
A house. That's a house mortgage out here.
If you're cool with living in certain areas.
Yeah.
And it's like me, the area that I grew up in, I eventually moved from the apartment that I was in because my 3-bedroom, two bathroom, like I think I had like 1,100 or 1,200 square feet. Was like $1,650 for me to re-up. Where when I signed it, it was like $1,450. I think it went up $200 in between my leases. And so I was just like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm gonna get up out of here.
Yeah.
But like some people that same what I paid is they're paying that maybe even more for less space in certain places of America. So I just don't. But I do think you got to take into consideration.
Yeah.
The minimum wage is different in certain areas, but at the same time, not everybody is that fortunate. Not everybody has the opportunity that we have out here. Like I think in Vegas it can work because there's so many like here are the best jobs are tip paying jobs.
Yeah.
That I personally feel.
Yeah, no.
Unless you want to work in a call center.
That's why so many people
and I have my ideas about
from
that.
California are moving out here because I have friends out there that, they live in the Bay Area. They're making good money, but all they do is just work.
Right.
You literally just work to live, And
right.
It's just like, I personally don't like that, Like I said, I think it's more of, your status, your status as in who you are as a person, how much income you're making and how much you're willing to not settle. I don't think it's more settling. It's more of like, who are you going to allow into your space, into your life, for you to be comfortable? For me, it's like, I'm not a materialistic person, but I do like to travel a lot. So it's like, I need money to pay my bills and to travel. Don't buy me no Gucci or whatever. It's just buy me my trip. It's just more of, where your priorities are at. Some people, like my culture, like, yes, we're hardworking people, but we like to stunt what we have. Like we got, our trocas del año, or, trucks of the year, brand new trucks, all our chains and all our, whatever.
I'm just not a truck guy.
It's just, and they just follow. I mean, we work hard, but it's like, okay, that's a different topic, where you put your money in. But at the same time, it's just, it's where you want to be as with the person. Who is the person you're talking to? What values do they have? And I actually just talked to a client of mine yesterday. She, her boyfriend was like, they met, I don't know where they met, but, he had nothing. She was telling me that he had nothing when they met. And now he's making 6 figures because she helped him out. So there is some women out there that are willing to help, or some men that are willing to help the person build up. And there's people like me that don't want to deal with that because I've already dealt with that. Is where you build the person up, and it's just like, do you want to be at the level of, you want to help the person up, make more money, have their gather their life together a little bit, or you want them to be already at the same level that you are. So.
Yeah, I just think it is about the communication factor.
Yeah.
I do think it is about like me and what I'm looking for. I want a partner, in the sense of the word. Like I don't think that one person should be doing more than the other. I think that we are a team at the end of the day. Yes. Where you lack, I will pick up, and where I lack, I would expect you to pick up at. And so for me. But I do think that when we start having these conversations, it's for the people that are ready for a serious relationship.
Yeah.
Like, not the people that want to come up or hit a lick or take advantage of people and just finesse people. Because that's where I do think that the biggest fear of that is that how often do you see like videos of, or even just stories of people using people for stuff, male or female.
Oh yeah, I even get that all the time. There's like guys that, I'm not trying to expose anybody, but there's guys that are trying to talk to me, and it's just like, dude, where are you at right now? Like, I feel like you're just trying to look for a sugar mama. I'm not saying that I make money and stuff, but it's no. Like, I just don't see it. I can't.
And sometimes you gotta get to know people.
Yeah.
Because not everybody that's like down in the dumps is really trying to use people to get up. Like, there are some people like what your client said. There are some people that legit, they just need someone to believe in them. And there's some people that, like, it don't matter how much you believe in them.
Yeah. So,
like, I do think that like with me, I've had this conversation with my mom a lot, which is where a lot of issues when it boils down to like views on women, when I have like not issues or conversations or arguments and things like that that I have with women, I go to my mom and I'm like, hey, am I tripping? Or how do you feel about it? And when I posted the question or the poll on Instagram, my mom was like one of the first people to be like, no, I don't think that the man should be the provider. But then you would think that my mom would, because she grew up where that was the case. And her dad was the provider. And then at a certain point, I ended up finding this out when I was like an adult. I guess her dad got shot when he was doing security. I want to say he was either doing security for Popeyes or he was doing security for a bank. And someone shot him, and he was never able to go back to work, but he was getting like a payment for getting hurt on the job, pretty much. And then her mom eventually had to go work. So then now, like, I've seen my dad be the breadwinner, but I've also seen my mom take care of me and my brother. So, like, me, I just don't want no woman that's just not gonna be be my partner in this. And that's in me as having I've got to a certain point in my life where I realize I can't work for people. Like, even not that I can't work for it, I just can't work for just anybody. Because me, I just think that, like, with certain jobs, they put you through a certain amount of training. And then my biggest pet peeve, and I've said this so many times on my podcast, is that I can't stand micromanaging. And it's like, you put me through this training and then you still micromanage me after the training. Why don't you just let me be on the floor right away?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's ultimately where I end up having issues with working for people, because at the end of the day, even though I work for someone, I still have my own individual things that I want to get done and that I'm working toward. And some people are not cool with you working toward your own goals. They want you to
that's what's working for someone is
100%. And then there's gonna be some people that are cool with it. Like like where I work now, and we'll talk about this in a second when we get to food places. But like where I work now, he's 100% cool with me working toward other things, because that's how he got to where he is. Even I'm gonna when I get done here, I'm gonna send a call to my old mentor who opened up a diner. I might go serve for him, but I'm still gonna be working 2 jobs. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be working towards something. I'm not gonna be working 2 jobs for forever. I like the area of one job. One job is in the art district. All of the people I get to be around, and the opportunities that I've already had just being in that area, where the other job just gives me the stability, the paper trail in order to get my own apartment in these next couple months, while also still being able to take my daughter to school, work. When she's done with school, I can get off work and go pick her up. And so, like, I do think that it boils down to get back on topic, it does boil down to a conversation that needs to be had between, I think that too often people will give their opinions and make it seem like that's how everybody should live.
Yeah, no. Like I said, it's what your values and standards are, to be honest. Like that question that you asked on Instagram, if I were to ask that to my mom would have been, no, the man needs to be the provider. Like, me and my mom literally had a conversation about this last week, that she's looking for a man to be the provider. Like, she doesn't want to work. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, this is my mom that have raised me and my brother. You know what I mean? My dad's, he's been in the picture, but she was a single mother. She worked her butt off after the divorce. And it's like, she's like, no, I need a break. Like, I need a man to take care of me. And I'm just like, okay, good. Yeah. If that's what you want, then that's what you want. For me, I can't do that. I can't be just at home. Like, I need to be doing something. I need to be working. But I grew up with how your parents were. Like, my dad, he's a truck driver. So when my parents, the moments that he was slow, like the rainy season, my mom would be working, so that's how it would be able to balance each other out, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all about the balance. It's all about, you know, helping teamwork. It's teamwork. So however you want to have your team, that's how you should do it. But
Right.
it's communication is key, definitely. No expectations, as in I expect you to do this. No, it's a conversation that needs to happen before the ring on the finger.
Yeah, most definitely. I do think it's one of those things that I think people date wrong, and I think people rush into things too quickly,
Yes.
where it's not everything gets ironed out. I think that I think there should just be phases. Like it's cool to be. There's a talking phase. There's a dating phase. There's a we're actually together.
Yeah.
Then there's the engagement phase, and then there's the marriage phase. But it's like too often people will go from we just met to we're actually together now. And it's like, well, what happened to the talking and the dating part? Like,
I mean, and some people it works and some people it doesn't. You know, I had no friends that got married a year later of meeting their significant other.
yeah, I know,
You know?
I know people that waited forever, and I know people that wait long
Exactly. It's
enough.
just what works for you. You know, I've learned to, like, I thought that's how it worked too, where you have to be friends and get to know each other and stuff. But God works in mysterious ways. You know, if that's your person, that's your person. I personally, I would like to get to know the person and be friends with my partner before, you know, there is any, like right now, it's like I say, you know, I'm dating with a purpose. Yeah, because I eventually want to get married. If you don't want to be married, if you want to be in this relationship, don't waste my time.
There is no way in hell you would catch me getting married to someone that I have not known
Yeah.
for longer than 6 months. So, like, not happening for me. But we'll wrap up here. Let us know what you guys think. Should the man be the provider?
Yes.
Is it cool to go 50-50? I personally say whatever works for you. I can handle 50-50. I just think at the end of the day, when everything breaks down, if she is not able to hold her end of the bargain, it is okay for the man to be the provider. And sometimes the man is going to slip and fall. We are not perfect. And I think that people need to understand that part.
Yeah. And it's a woman's job to pick him up.
Exactly.
Be the rock.
So, but yeah, make sure you like and subscribe the page on the HeSaySheSay channel on YouTube. Make sure you follow me at KYNGRALPH on Instagram as well as TikTok. Make sure you follow the podcast page on Instagram as well. And we're in conversation about whether or not we're gonna have a TikTok page for the podcast. So just @_ HeSaySheSay Podcast.
And then you can find me on Instagram on I'm_warrior_queen, or on TikTok on la_chona 2 underscores.
Cool. Thank you all for watching. On
Thank
to the next
you.
one.
Bye.